gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And they'll be stopped at the 28 on a play that started at the 14. They pick up 14. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
This pass caught. It's Woods. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another that's going to set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And a little bit of space there. Takes it inside the 5 to the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Taylor again. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Colts put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Lance and the 49ers now. 1st and 10 at their own 23. And they fake the handoff. Now Lance out to his left. Man open. That's Deebo Samuel. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Lance. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Another try after the 1st down sack. Lance. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. He's got room at the 30. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The catch and run, good for 24 yards. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
On play action, Lance sliding out of the pocket. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Colts pick it up. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Pretty good timing. He waited just enough for that post play to develop and laid it right in there.
And you know what a lot of teams do when they decide to throw a post route? Because it's a little bit longer developing play. They max protect. Bring everyone in, keep the tight end in, an extra back to make sure the quarterback has time to deliver the football.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Paris Campbell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Taken from about the 12. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
On 1st down, Lance. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. Finding room at midfield. The 30. 10. 5. Touchdown. 49ers. George Kittle, 76 yards. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. And it's no good. He misses the PAT. So file that one away. Could eventually loom large here as the night progresses. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This taken in at the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Indy offense at the line and set to go. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Again, it's Taylor. 7 yards there and a first down. The Colts at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
43 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
A gain of 11 that time and a Colts first down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. These two teams all tied after 1. Good news, they kept the ball. Bad news, it's 3rd and long. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Here's 2nd and 8. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. And the Niners are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Lance now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Play action. Now it's Lance. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. That's Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker who got in and dropped him to the turf.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Shaquille Leonard, 2 plays in a row now that he has gotten in there for the sack, and it brings up 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on 3rd. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And some room to roam now. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 87 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. First and 10, Taylor now. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts have moved out in front. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. McCaffrey running up the middle.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on third down. Now a play fake. Lance. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Lance and company going on fourth down. Able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Off of play action, here's Lance. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Shaquille Leonard in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Here we go, set, yellow, 22.
And they'll go for it. Lance. And able to catch it, but he's out of bounds. Well, the throw took him beyond the sideline, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up second and 5. They run once more with Taylor. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They'll look to run with Taylor. And he takes it in for a Colts score. Jonathan Taylor on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Colts will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. A final shot before half for Lance. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He's got a man, complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off to go, right? When he was flush from the pocket, a lot of times you see him, eyes will drop, ball will get tucked, and he takes off, becomes a running back. But as you noted, stayed alive as a passer, tremendous body control, and a pretty good arm there, too.
So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Lance to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Shaquille Leonard make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or two shy of midfield. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Running left, Taylor. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 165 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Back to Taylor on first down. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A big hitter there, a first down gain of 26 yards.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Set punt. 60 red. 60 red. Set punt.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. And they'll run again. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Colts go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
On 2nd and 10, Lance. Buying time to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Lance. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. Down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. It didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play, and they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 198 yards for him on the ground, as this has been a night to remember to this point.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll try again. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Jonathan Taylor, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Colts have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles, if they're going to try to pull off an impressive. And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Well, if these guys wanted to get back in this game, they needed an almost perfect second half, and down 3 scores. A lost fumble here certainly doesn't fit into that plan.
That reminds me of my plan in college to get an A on the papers I turned in, but that didn't work out too well either. Too many mistakes.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, a 23-yard run. And the Colts get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, he's got a man, complete. Touchdown, 49ers. Deebo Samuel with his second touchdown of the night. And the Niners are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Shepard. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a give right side. Shepard. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll try the left side with Taylor. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Got an open man. That's Campbell. He's got room at the 30. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
Here we go. Right there.
Green Jack.
54 Mike.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess? He didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
And that will be incomplete.
Well, fourth quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
The kick by Bass is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. To throw, it's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. Touchdown! George Kittle, his second touchdown of the night. And the 49ers are able to cut into that deficit. Well, it seemed like they were so focused elsewhere they forgot about the tight end spot, and he's the one that burns him there to make this a 3-score game here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
I think there might be a little bit of defensive fatigue from those guys on that side of the ball, partner, because they've been spending their time trying to stop them from all angles. This time the tight end gets them.
And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. On the handoff, Taylor. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now a give to Taylor. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 7 yards there and a first down. To the right side, this is Taylor. Now they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. He'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Harris Campbell, 26 yards.
And the Colts look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. An extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they open the lead up now to 25.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs.
And the Colts are going to take possession of the football.
Facing this fourth quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Back to throw now on first down. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards, the final tally.
Not quite enough to get into the end zone, but what a nice play there. He makes the catch, tries to turn upfield and get to the pylon, but doesn't quite get there. But they're going to be set up with a first and goal from very short range.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers you would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on first down is Lance. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Colts are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
On the move to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. It's Woods. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a first down. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
And they're enjoying a 4th quarter advantage. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw.
Looking for Woods again, and he finds him. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up,
a fight for the football, and it's intercepted.
And the 49ers are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, this defense has been smothering all game long. Why not give them 2 more points here in the closing minutes?
Well, they've certainly earned it. They've gotten the better of this offensive line for 4 quarters, and this sack here will just be a little icing on the cake.
And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, they came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team, right? We figured that out pretty early, but give them a lot of credit for staying with it. They didn't stumble around out there. They didn't create a lot of errors for themselves because they were the superior team. They took care of business and closed them out pretty quickly.
That ball caught by Campbell, and he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
The fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week, and well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here, and they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and continue your theme about one team enjoying it. One fan base is enjoying it as well. The other fan base, they might disagree with what they've seen, but the one that's winning, they're certainly getting their money's worth.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. 29 is a Mike 29. Check.
Go.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted.
Picked off by Fred Warner.
And the Niners come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. Well, this was a fun one today if you like points. A lot of them went on the board. Both offenses were clicking. Charles, these defenses, meanwhile, have a little something to clean up before their next contest.
Yeah, neither end zone had a stop sign in it, did they? I mean, for both sides, visit it, and with frequency. Not fun to be a defensive player, but on the offensive side of the ball, those guys had a blast. One team came away with a victory, even better for them.
So for Indianapolis, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take record. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.